Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Bar and I welcome you to our 11th video of learning how to make mobile applications using Flutter. I request you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you should be getting the notifications when I upload the next videos. So today we're going to proceed from where we stopped at in the previous class. If you still remember, in the previous video we stopped at a point where we were able to create a simple list and a little bit complex list, and also being able to modify those lists on using our application, such as removing a name and also adding a name. That's what we did yesterday. So I hope you can see that, so you can even remove something like that. So today we're going to proceed from there as we are practicing to understand more things of Flutter. We're going to see how we can make a little bit complex list with the use of models. So models will help us to handle the related data and how we can organize our code properly and clearly. So with that much said, let's go ahead and start our today's business straight without wasting any time. So as I said, we are going to create a what? A complex model. I mean a complex list here. We can use this very one, or we can create another one, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a model that is going to support these variables. A model maybe will support the name and the count of someone, and then we'll be able to collect the name of and the count of someone, and then save them into a model, put them into the model, and then use that model to display here. And then after, we'll also go ahead and see how we can make independent widgets. For example, components that you can reuse in different screens. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so I'm going to create another thing like this one, another screen like this one, and it's the one that we're going to do what? To use to practice. So with that much say, let me come to this screen. I think it is the last screen that we did, this screen number 13. I'm just going to copy it and paste it. Okay, copy it and paste. And then I'll call this one number 14, and then I can say model list, okay, models list, or can say model list, whatever you want, screen. Okay, so I'll go ahead and copy that and then say okay, then I'll click here. So there we are, this is where we are, and then I'll come and rename this what? I'll come and rename this class. Okay, so I'll press Ctrl, I'll select it all and press Ctrl F and press Alt and Enter, and then come and remove this and just simply put models list. Okay, like this. So in this we're going to learn how we can use different models. So after doing that, I'm going to come here and change the title here and put models list. Okay, so something like that, and then I'll go ahead and put this one to our home page. So we should have it on our home page so that when someone clicks on it, we are able to go to the home page. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll come here to the home and then come here where there is this top one and then duplicate it, Ctrl D, and then come here and put models list, and then I can collapse this guy, and then I can put here the class. Like when someone clicks here, it should be taken to this particular one, this particular screen. I'll press Alt and Enter so that it can be what can be imported like this. So with that much said, let's go ahead and see. So I'll save and update my project. So I should be able to see on the home page here, I have what we call a model list. Maybe I can change this icon to something a little bit different. Let me see if I have another relevant icon. Maybe we can use that one. Yeah. All right, so we'll get that. Okay, we can go with that. So now when I click here, I should be able to do what? To see this one, model list. So now the point of why we create models because we want things to be organized in one set or in one object. So for example here, let's say that you're collecting someone's name and their country and their age, or let's say maybe you collect someone's name and their sex and their country and their age and their date of birth and all of those information about a particular thing. So it is better you put those in a what you call a model, or in a single object, or in a single structure. So what you do, you first create a class of a certain model, and then you give it properties, and then use that property to define different objects. For example, we're going to create a class of a person, which will have a name and the country and the age. All right, and then we will use that model to control the data of different people. So instead of using this independent screen or this individual screen, strings, it's better we use a what? You use a model, because the model can contain multiple strings organized in what? In a single object. So let's go ahead and we do it and we create our model. So model is a very big thing and a very important thing. It's a very big thing and very important thing. So it means that it has to have an independent an independent folder where you can put all the models. Like, it's the one that will help you to structure your code. Assume that you have a system that's going to handle the student information. So you can have a model for a class, a model for a student. You can have a model that contains the teacher's information, a model that contains the subjects. So all those things, you put them in form of what? In form of models, so they can be organized in what? In structured ways. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a separate folder where we can be putting our models. Okay. So this is our project. So you can see how we're organizing it. We have a folder of pages, or what you call screens. This one, okay. So all the screens, they will be here in this place. So we're going to have now a folder for data, or what you call the modules. So right click here on the lib, on top of the lib here, and then say new, and then come to directory. Then I'm going to give the directory of what you call models. Okay. So inside here, I'm going to put my first model. I can call it. I'm going to call it a person model. So you can have as many models as you want. Okay, it's nothing but a what? But a class. So I'll right click here and say new what? New file. And then this one I can call it person model.dart, like this. So this person model is still going to put the things that are going to manage about a person. Okay. So I'll just simply come here and create what I call a class, like this, and then give the name of this class. So I can call it person model, and then open curly bracket and close. That's all. That's what you need to do to create a class. Now we can ask ourselves, which things that does a person need to have in order to have a what? In order to have a person. So this has suggested for me these things. A person will have a name. A person will have a what? Will have an email. A person will have a phone number and an address. All right, let's keep it simple. Let me just create it by myself. So I just say it's string, and then say person will have a name. Okay, and then it also says string. A person will have a what? Maybe country, and then string. A person will have maybe what? Let's say maybe age. All right. So now you can see they're complaining because we have not what? We have not initialized them. So I'll show you what is meant by a constructor, but I think I've already explained those things in basic data programming. So you know what's meant by a constructor. So you can create a constructor that when someone creates this thing, it automatically initializes them. But here you can just simply initialize them to nothing. So by default, name will have nothing, and then count will have nothing, and age will have nothing by default. So after doing that, now we're going to create the object of this model. Okay, so this model will have what we call an object. An object is a single model that can contain the data that has these parameters. Okay, so I'm going to come to our home page. To our screen, this screen. So instead of having strings that are distinct, I'm going to put here, I'm going to create a list of what? of people. Okay, I'm going to call it list of people. So I'll just simply say list, and then you open, and now here you put the name of the model that you just created, or you put the model that you want to use. So it is called person model, like this. Then they will suggest it for me, and I'll be able to do it, to import it like this. All right, then I give this a name. Okay, I give it a reference. Okay, so I can call it people like this, and then I initialize it to nothing, for example. So I'll come here and press Alt and Enter so it can be imported like this. Press Alt and Enter, make sure that you write the correct spelling of your model. So here I'm going to have different people in this list. Okay, so it means that instead of looping here and we display the list of string that we are just displaying the string of names, we are going to remove that string of names and then put a list of people. So I'll come here and remove, instead of putting, remember our list is here. So instead of putting names, I'm going to remove it and put what? And put people. All right. So now here, it means that I'll have to check if people are empty, if the list of people is empty. Now here, instead of putting now just the names, I'm just going to put people, and then I come here. Now people will have multiple values. So I'll just simply put dot, and then I'll be able to access the person's name or country or age. So I can go ahead and say the name. All right, so let me go ahead and remove and comment this one of deleting. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and now work on this form. Okay, this form was collecting a single string. Okay, if you remember, this form was just collecting a single string, and that's what we call a single name. Now this time it's going to have multiple values. For example, name and age and the country. So instead of having this single string, we're going to have maybe a single model or a single object that will be used for collecting the data. So let me go ahead and remove this single string. Okay, so I can come here and create the single object. So to create a single object, we just simply write the model, which is person people model, and then I can call it maybe single object. I can just call it maybe my form data, or you can call it anything that you want. Okay, so you can call it anything that you want, form data, etc. So here I'm going to initialize it to nothing. So to initialize, just simply say like this, and then you write the value, and then open bracket, and then close. So there you'll have created a model of what? Of these people, a single object. So you should know there are two things now. There is this one of what? Of single object, this one that we're going to use, and then there is this one which has a list of them. So these are the two things that you can use. So think creatively how you can make use of this. You can have a list of this one, and there are a lot of classes that are on this list, and there is a very complete video that I taught about these programming, object-oriented programming in Dart programming. So those videos on my YouTube channel, you can go and find them, and then you learn the basis of that. All right, so I'll go ahead and use this one for collecting the data. So I'll come here where there is on the name change here, on name change, I'll go ahead and say form data dot what dot maybe name, like this. Okay, so name like this. So here we'll have the name. So I'll come here and also remove this one. Maybe this one I can call it maybe country, and then I can call this one country like this, and then I come and put here on change. Okay, on change method, I'll initialize the same model and then put dot what dot country equals to value dot to string like this, and then after I'll go ahead and now do the logic of adding this item once it's collected into the list. So I can go ahead and collect maybe one more thing, which is the maybe age. So put here age. There's going to be age, and then come and put here age. Okay, and then put here age like this. So if you don't want the user to enter wrong age, you can go ahead and specify the keyboard to be the number keyboard. Here you can specify the keyboard to be text keyboard, like this. Okay, this one will be the number keyboard and this one can be the text keyboard, like this. So here I'll be able to collect the age, I'll be able to click the what, the names. Here I'll be able to click the country. So I'll save and then proceed to where now there is a button when someone wants to add this data to the list. So when someone wants to add the data to the list, I can first check if the name is empty. So it will be form data dot what, dot name. If it is empty, then I'll not allow. You can go ahead and add more conditions. Okay. Then after, I'm going to get the list which we called people, and then we add this item which is dot add, and then we pass form data like this. So by doing like that, we should be able to have this item added into the list of people there. And then I save and print result and enter, and then we should have that. So you see, this is the whole point. Okay, so the list of what, of people, and then here adding this one into the data. So I want like after we finish, it should be able to reset. Okay, reset that. So alright, let's go ahead and do that. So I'll simply come here, and then I come and put the name of a person, and then come and put their age, and then come and put their country, like this. So I say okay, and then I say add. So you can see it is okay. Now only that what has happened, let's see what could be the wrong. The name is not getting. All right, I think when we are resetting, it is doing what? It is resetting the entire what? The entire when updating the what? When we are updating, let me see. Okay, let us see. So I'll come here and first remove, reset, and we see, because it might be setting the entire state, even something that has already gone there. Let me first comment this reset. I think it is updating the entire state. For example, if I put this one here. Okay, so I come and try. Yeah, it is updating the entire state. So that's one different thing about Flutter, that when you add something, it does not get rid of it. It just keeps updating the new state, the whole state of an item. All right, so here, instead of just adding this data like this, what we're going to do, we are going to create a separate model. Okay, so we can just simply create here our separate model, so this data can be separated from what? From the form data. So here, after adding it, before adding, we're going to come here and create a what? A separate model, or we can call it maybe new user or new person equals 2. Then we get that data that is in the form. Here, we got the data that is in the form, and then you copy it to here. And then let us add that data into people here. I hope that will not cause a problem. Let's see. So I'll save. I'll come and add a name. And then say add. It is updating all of them. All right, so let's try this one and we see. So instead of doing this, let us create something separate, equals to new, and then say user. I think that one is going to give us the same thing. All right, let us just copy one by one. Then dot name, here put dot name. I think that's the only way we can get rid of this. And then put here dot age, and then put also dot age, and then put dot country, and then country dot country. I think think that's the only way we can get rid of that state that is updating the entire thing. And then this new state, we are copying data and put this in this new state, and then we add here. Yeah, all right, so let's come here and work on the remove. So remove, it's going to be people dot remove at. So I'll save. Now I'll come here and remove. So I'm able to remove. So I'll come here and put, and then I add, and then you see it can now go there. It can now go there. All right, so you're getting the whole concept. Now we are able to control like more than one thing within one object. So we can go ahead and maybe check for more things like if the name is empty, or the age, let's say that we also need, or we need all of them. Say all age, all country. All country. So I'll come and put here all age, all country. So this condition we'll check if one of these one is empty, it will not allow a person to do what, to proceed. All right, so I'll save, like if one of these one is empty, it will not allow anyone to do what, to proceed to these ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and now see if I come and enter only let's say the age, the name, and then enter the age, and then enter the country like this, and then I try to, okay, let's first enter this without the country. So if I try to add, it will not accept because I will not enter the country. So let me go ahead and add the country. So when I add, it will go ahead and add this person here. So that's how you deal with what, with models in Flutter. All right, so now let us go ahead. Now let's say that you want also to display the age. Let us say that you want also to display the age. So to display the age, we'll come here. So now, since it is the row, you can go ahead and maybe display the age like this. So if I come, I'll be able to do what? To see the age like that. All right, so I hope you can see it. So now, that is how you can get, that's the basic information about the models. A model, it will give you ability to modify, to manage the data using one object. So to create a model, you just simply create a class, okay? And I've told you, and I've told you as well as showing you how you can do what, how you can create a class. All right, this is how you create a class. This is how you give its properties, and that is how you create an object of a certain class, and that's how you do it. You create a list of class of a list of objects of a certain class. So please go ahead and if you don't know about classes, much more about class and models, go ahead and watch my video tutorials about that programming, so you can get very enough information about it, because it's very important in the mobile application development. So now that's about models, but there's a lot more that you can learn about the models, because they are very important. They help us to organize the data and put them in one place. Okay, so the next thing now that we're going to look at is now the widgets. Okay, so widgets help us to design independent user interfaces. As you can see, this one, this item that is displaying the name and the age, it is nothing but user interface that is being repeated. You see, it is being repeated. This is just a row that's being repeated. So what if you could create this row separately, and then you keep on using it anywhere that you want? I think that might be more effective. So Flutter gives you the ability to create independent components or independent user interfaces, and you can use those interfaces to do what? You can use those interfaces to in different parts of your Flutter project. I mean, in different parts of your project to display the data or to interact with the user. So I'm going to show you how we can create this kind of interface that you can use them. So those interfaces are the one that we always call widgets. Okay, an independent component that you can reuse. They're the one that we call widgets. So you have these widgets that are coming with Flutter, such as the text, such as the inkwell, such as the row. Those are the widgets, independent widgets. And then they are custom. We have also custom widgets, their own widgets, our own widgets that we do what? That we create by ourselves. So I'm going to show you how we can create a simple widget. Okay. For example, what I'm going to do, you see this row, this whole row that is being repeated. You see this is a loop and it is repeating this row. I'm going to remove it and create a widget for it. Okay. So to create a widget for it, I'll cut it. I'll select it all and then I cut it like this. Okay. So this is nothing but just you can put there anything like maybe text like that. All right. So instead of putting this text, we are going to create our own widget that we're going to design and then we reuse. Okay. So I can just simply come and put here person UI. Okay, so or a person UI or a user interface of a person. So if you do like this, it will give you a warning that this method is not existing or this function is not existing. You can press Alt and Enter to create it, or you can just simply come here in bottom within the class. You can come here in bottom and create it by yourself. Okay, but if you press Alt and Enter, it will go ahead and create for you this widget. So you can see this is just a person UI. It is returning a what? A widget. So inside here you can go ahead and return return text and say this is my user interface like this. So when you do like that, it will go ahead and do what? And be substituted here. So what is being done here is instead of returning a single static thing, we have designed our function here separate that we are going to do what? That we are going to return. I mean that we're going to display. So this is what we call a widget. So this widget that you're seeing here, this person UI is a widget, is an independent widget. You can use it anywhere. Like if let's say that you have another screen where you want to display the users. So don't put this static code here. Write a widget, then you can import it to anywhere of your project and then reuse it. So in case there is something that you need to change, you just change only one place and the entire project will do what? Will update. That's the advantage of widget. And it helps also to optimize, not repeat yourself, and it makes the code simple and easy. So you see this is the widget user interface and it is returning this data. I hope we are together. So since we know that this data is a loop, that's why we had to do what? To separate it. Okay. So I can add all right. So that's it. Now I want us to be able to put down the data that makes sense. Right now, this data cannot make sense. You're just returning a static word, this one. So this widget does not know which information that you want. But for us, we know it. We want it to be able to represent. I mean, to present the information of a person. But this widget does not have access to that what? To that data. So you have to put here an item. I mean, a variable that will receive the information that it needs. So here, what we need, we just need an information of what? Of person model like this. All right, and then we give it a name P. So what does it mean? It means that it will not allow someone to call it if they don't provide a what? A person model. Okay, so here when we are looping, we're going to give it a person model. Of course, the person model we can get it from people. Then we put what? We put index. Then we'll be able to get this person. So here we are passing it the particular person that it wants. So it will be receiving this data through this P. So now if I want to display the name, what will I do? I'll just simply come and remove this. Now since that I have p, I can just simply put p dot what? Dot name. And then when I save, it will be able to do what? Display the name. I hope you can see that. I hope you can see that, right? Now this widget can be really complex, okay? It can be very what? Very big. So you can put it even in what? In separate file, so that all your widgets are in the same place and you don't complicate your programming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this widget in a separate file, so we just be calling it, and maybe we can even reuse it in any place that we do what that we want. So instead of putting it here, I'm going to create a separate file for my widgets or for my user interfaces, and I'll be putting there my what? My user interfaces. So I'll just simply come here, and then I can create a separate folder for my user interfaces, or it can even be a single file. Okay, so let me just come here and say directory, and then say maybe my widgets, like this. So inside here it's all going to put those kind of what of widgets. So I'm going to put here, and it's just a simple file that we're going to put different widgets inside there. So I just simply come and put here in the folder of widget, and I put maybe my widgets, widgets.dat. Okay, so inside there I'm going to copy this independent widget. I'll cut it, and then I come and paste it here. So here I can write as many widgets as I want. I can press Alt and Enter so it can do what it can. So it will even help to keep my code my code clean, that all the widgets are in the same place, and I'm able to to reuse them anywhere. All right. So that's it. You see, this widget is here. Now, if you come back here, it's going to tell you that this widget is not found because you have not imported it. So just simply come here and press Alt and Enter. It will ask you where to import, then you'll import it. So you see, now we're having whereby this widget is in a separate file, but you're able to do what? To reuse it. So there can be as many widgets as you want. You can use as many widgets as you want. So let's go ahead and write a little bit complex thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to design whereby we're going to have maybe something like, let me see. I want us to design what we need to display. So I want us to have something like this that's going to display a single person. Okay, where we want here maybe the first letter of his name with a background color. Okay, and then we want here his name in black color, and then here we want his age, okay, and then I want here his country. But this is very simple. Let me make something hard. So I want here maybe an icon of a clock, and then put his age. and then you had here an icon of maybe a world, and then put his what? His country. So I want us to design this thing, and then we do what? We use it as a single person what? As a single person widget. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going just to design. So let us first internalize it. So what we're going to do, we're going to first create a what? A container. Alright. So a container is going to have all these things. Okay, after creating a container, you can see we're going to first put a row. We're going to first put a row because it is a row that we can separate this one from this. So we'll put a row, okay, that is going to have two things. So a row here, and then here we'll put a what in this. So this will be the row will take two things: this icon of a person, and then the second one will take the data, whereby the data will be in form of a column, whereby you'll have a name, and then you have here now another row again, another row that is going to have the age and the count of a person. So that is the thing that you're going to do. So when you get such a widget, you have to internalize it. It begins with a row, and then followed by column, and then a row that you see in here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll begin with the container, then row, and then column. So let's go ahead and do that. I see time is out of hand. So we're going to begin with the container. I can grab this guy. So we'll begin with the what? With the container, like this, and then this container, of course. So I'll come here and put a semicolon. This container will take a what? A single child. So that is this outside thing, the outside one. So after putting the container, the next thing we're going to put a row that's going to contain this guy and this guy. So just simply come here, and then this container will take a what? Will take a row. So row will take what? Children. Alright, so after doing that, we're going to give this row two things. This item, which can be a container, and then this item. Okay, so two containers, one for this and one for this. So I'll just simply come and put here two containers. We can put one and another and make it a column. So container. So this the first container. This guy is just guessing what I need to write. Alright, the first container is going to take a child, and then this child, of course, will take what? Text, and then come and put here maybe the first letter of a person. Okay, let's say M. Alright, so after doing that, we put here comma, and then you put now the second thing, this one. Okay, this one. So that one can be a column because inside it, it can be a column because inside it you're going to put these names. Okay, so this one is going to be a column. This one, this section. I've already finished this. So on this one, it's going to be a column. So you may not even put in a container. So I'll come here in this row and put here what? A column. Alright, so this column will take what you call children. We'll take children, and these children are going to be this name and this age. So I'll go ahead and do that. Alright, so the first one will be the name, and then the second one is going to be age. So I can save for now. Now I can see that you're having that kind of data. It's not well organized yet. It's not well organized, but you can see we have the concept. So here you have to make it padding, you have to give it width, you have to give it height, you have to give it all that so you can really make sense. For example, you can come here on this and give it maybe padding, and then say maybe padding all, it should be 20, so they should have a space between the two. All right, so you can see you have that kind of space. Or can just simply say padding only, and then say left is 15, right is 15, and then say maybe top is maybe 15 to or 20. So when you save like this, we'll have something like looks like that. Okay, so maybe you can put a divider or something like that. All right, so after doing that, so the next thing you can go ahead and give this a background color, as we said that this one we want to give it a what, a background color. So I'll come here and give this one a color of what, maybe of red. And then after doing that, all right, so after doing that, so here we'll go ahead and give it save, and then give it decoration, give it padding. And then say 20. Let's say maybe. All right, so then after we're going to make it rounded. So remove the color on top there and put the decoration on top. My stepmother is calling me. So guys, say decoration and then background color, and then put your decoration border radius that, and then put circular. Then you see the output the decoration here. All right, so you can go ahead and specify its width and then its height, so you can have something that is rounded like this. All right, so come and make this one center. And maybe come and make this one maybe, or you may remove the padding, and maybe come and all right, let's go ahead and increase now the font size of this. So our word is now bigger, our letter M. Go and give it maybe what? Go and give it a what? Go and give it a font weight of maybe bold. All right. So come and reduce on the padding left and make it maybe 10, and padding right, make it 10. Alright, so after doing that, then I think that makes much more sense. You can change this one to red and give it some shade of 700. Alright, so that's it. Good to have something like that. Alright, so after after we can come here and space this name. So we're going to create a space between these two here. We want to put this space because it makes it look a little bit complicated. This space, so you can just simply come and put what you call sized box. So between the container and the column, you put what you call sized box, and then give it width. Okay, and then give it width, so it will have some spacing like this. So can maybe 15. All right, so after doing that, we come and style also this font. And give maybe font weight, and remove this color of white, and then okay, give it black color of black, and make it bolded and make it maybe font of 18. I can make it, you may not even make it bold, but just make it black and give it font of 20 maybe. Yeah, like that. Alright, so we now have this. So now we need this. Okay, so if you see how this one is arranged, it is in a what? In a row. So you can create a row and surround it within under this thing which has 20, the edge. So come here and put here your what? Your row. So press Alt and Enter and then say wrap with what? With row. So you can put there the edge and the what? And the country. Like this. Now edge and the country are together. So you can come here and say put here what you call spacer. I hope it will work there. So spacer, I'll try to create the space between them. It will try to separate them. I hope it will work. Sometimes it doesn't behave properly. Yeah, it doesn't behave here. Alright, so come here and put what you call space between. So one should be at the last and another should be at the end, like this. Yeah, it's not working because it does not have what? It does not have width, a specific width. Yeah, I need to use a flex. Yeah, it doesn't have specific width. Alright, let's just specify with a size box. Alright, just to save time, I can put here edge like this, and then come and put here, and then come and put here what? Country. Like that. So, but you can make a better one. You can make a better thing. Then come and put here maybe cross alignment here on the column. Cross alignment. And make it what? Start. Alright, so that's it. I can have something that looks like that. Alright, but you can make a better one. You can make a better one. This is not the best. Alright, but you can see the whole point is we're able to create an independent user interface which is in a different file, and you will just be importing it in the different file that you need. You get it, eh? You see, you have this user interface that you're calling here, and then it is in a different file. So what does it mean? It means that you can keep on reusing this user interface in anywhere that you want. So if I come here and I add okay, when I say add, it goes and add. So I think even contacts have something like that. So I can put maybe an icon for editing, deleting, all that. So, but the whole point is you're able to create a widget that you can reuse even in what? In different screen. It is very independent. You can see it in a separate file, but you're able to reuse it. So, all right, that makes our today's video. It has been a little bit long, but I hope it was important and useful. Go ahead and practice and make sure that you don't skip any bit in these lectures of learning how to make mobile applications. All right, we'll see you in the next videos, and goodbye.